Welcome to a short reflection by Sebastian Mahfood on Canto 33 of Dante's Inferno. Oh, the evil that we do to one another! It's the greatest wonder that we have any time left over to also do evil to God. When we are treacherous to one another, though, we kill two birds with one stone. In the most heart-rending story of the entire Inferno, Count Ugolino narrates how his co-conspirator, Archbishop Ruggieri, locked him, his sons, and his grandsons in what came to be called the Tower of Hunger, and let them starve to death, one after the other. Dante has Ugolino speak one inscrutable line in his tale. "Then fasting overcame my grief and me." Does this mean that he was the next and the last to die? Or does it mean that he fell upon his own children and ate their dead flesh? Ciardi translates that Ugolino's eyes narrowed to slits when he was done, and he sees the skull again between his teeth, grinding it as a mastiff grinds a bone. Those who deny food to their victims in life become, Ciardi notes, their food in the afterlife. Dante moves from Antenora to Ptolomea, the third round of the ninth circle, and finds sinners buried beneath the ice to their chins and noses. They cannot lower their eyes to avoid the freezing wind that binds their tears as ice caps to their eyes. Dante, perplexed by the wind, wonders where it comes from, because in his day wind was thought to be generated by heat, and here, below, is the furthest from light and warmth. Whereupon one of the souls, hearing his voice, asks a favor of Dante to remove the ice from his eyes and give him the brief respite of tears. Dante easily tricks him. He says, "Tell me your name, then if I do not help you, may I descend to the last rim of the ice." Dante knows he's going to descend there anyway, but Friar Alberigo doesn't know that, nor would he be able to conceive anyone's wanting to go that far, so he answers truthfully, and in doing so totally confounds Dante. For Friar Alberigo is still alive on earth. What then is he doing here? At this point Dante learns the secret of Ptolomea. Those who betray their guest, note that betrayal of guest is worse than betrayal of country or kin, lose their souls to Ptolomea before they die, and a demon inhabits their body until its death. Like suicide, there's no chance to repent. It's hell's zero-tolerance policy. Of course, we know from history that Friar Alberigo killed his brother Manfred, and Manfred's son, and that Branca d'Oria, whom Alberigo identifies, killed his father-in-law. So it would seem to be treachery against kin for which these sinners are culpable, deserving a place closer to the giants that would enable them to bend their heads. But no, these betrayals occurred after their marks showed up by invitation to a meal, while those who lie further up gave their marks more notice than that. After learning what he does, and finding out who else is down there, Dante reneges on his promise to remove the ice from Alberigo's eyes. For to be rude to him was courtesy. With that, we follow Dante out of Ptolomea into the last round, and come face to face with Satan himself. In the eighth circle we learn that demons are at work in the world. We see one bringing a soul down to the tar pits of the grafters, and we hear told to us by Guido of one arguing with St. Francis for claim on his soul. That they work in the world is one thing, that they can possess a human body is another thing, but that they kick the soul out so completely that it has nowhere to go but down to the last pit of hell is a different thing altogether. Our popular culture has accustomed us to the idea of demonic possession. We've all seen movies that deal with them. And our Christian culture includes stories of Christ driving out demons and restoring the person within the body to peace of mind. But we've never seen or heard of a demon taking over completely, stripping the soul, which is the form of the body, from its flesh, and taking that role for itself. Our hearts leap against the possibility. Our reason rebels, for where can redemption occur in a living man if his soul is already damned? The point, perhaps, is that whenever we commit a betrayal, we lose charity, the theological virtue that constitutes our vital energy. And when we invite people into our homes under the illusion of trust and then massacre them, we demonstrate a complete loss of charity. The grace within us dissolves, and the binding principle of our material and spiritual composite disintegrates. The Scots had a custom that whenever a traveler arrived at their door, they would feed him, clothe him, and give him a place to stay without ever asking of him his name. The reason is that they knew they had to exercise charity in regards to their guests, and they didn't want to be obligated to make good on a blood feud at the same time. The better thing to do, of course, is to forgive those who sin against us, and seek to repair the relationship if possible. Demons abound who are ready to inhabit our bodies, and, like St. Anthony, we have to fight against them with the expectation that we'll win, for there's no sense at all in our inviting them in.